What is it now?
Mr. Cosby, this is Johnny
What
Keegan.
is it? What is it?
What a great way to start a conversation.
All right.
Mr. Cosby, thank you so
I'll
much.
raise you $1. Are we rolling yet?
Oh, I'm glad I was rolling just to get
Yes.
this part of the conversation.
Yes.
Mr. Cosby, where does the day find you? Where are you right now, sir?
I am in New York City, and I am looking at this weather,
Uh-huh.
and which they keep saying is, but so far, thank goodness it isn't. And then I have to go over and do the Jimmy Fallon show. After that, I then have to jump into, I'm not taking the airplane.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to take the train
Ooh, the scenic view.
at night.
Oh, sorry.
And then there's a car that will take me to Atlantic City. I'm going to play Harrah's. And then I have to get out to Watertown.
Have you ever been to our city? Have you ever been to Watertown, Mr. Cosby?
I don't remember.
You, to me, Bill, Mr. Cosby, were an innovator of television, family television. From everything that I remember, from Fat Albert to the Cosby Show and all the other things. Do you think, in this politically correct world that we live in, Mr. Cosby, do you think exactly how it was made that Fat Albert could be on the air today as a cartoon?
Well, first of all, let's correct politically correct.
Yes.
Because I think that was invented by the people who wanted to not bother about having good manners, by people who didn't want to bother with being correct and fair. You don't have to say these things if you want to do the correct thing. And with Fat Albert, pardon me, it's interesting. Let's go to I Spy.
Okay.
Let's go to I Spy. So this Jewish man who is a producer decides that he wants to do a 1-hour spy series, and he thinks it's time for a Negro to play opposite and equal to a white. And the two spies will go all around the world. So he goes to another Jewish man, Herb Schlosser, at NBC, and says, Herb, this is the story that they both agreed. Herb, I got a TV series, and Sheldon Leonard, the producer, had produced Dick Van Dyke and some other shows. So, I mean, he was pretty strong. And he says, Schlosser says, what do you have? He says, well, I want to go around the world with two spies, and we can shoot on location and come back and then finish up the rest of the stuff in the United States at the studio. Herb says, okay, and the cost is, yeah. And Sheldon says, we just got one problem. So Schlosser said, well, what's the problem? He says, well, I want the second lead to be a Negro. And Schlosser says, so what's the problem?
Right.
And that's how I Spy moved in. A guy like Herb Schlosser says, so what's the problem? We're not talking about politically correct. We're talking about an individual who said, so what is the problem? Well, a huge problem. Because when the show hit the air, there were about 3 cities that decided that thing is not going to play here. And it was about the Negro.
Being you.
Well, yeah, or any person who was dark.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't take it personally. I just took my whole race, and that's what they were talking about. So along comes Fat Albert, the popularity of Bill Cosby, and by the time I had 4 albums on the top 10 sellers list of Billboard before they even did categories.
So you would be up there with the Beatles and whoever was the top charts.
Yeah, yeah, with no music except na 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 na. And so I get a call, and Filmation wants to be in CBS. Now, I don't know the story at CBS, but it's going to go on in the morning. It's going to be animated. And thanks to Herb Schlosser and NBC, I was able to put Fat Albert in a special, comedy special. And then here comes the animation and the drawing, and then we do the words, and we keep these nice stories going, and they're wonderful. And by the way, if you get a chance to buy the whole of the series, man, you'll see some stories that we do. Some stories you'll say, "Wait a minute, man! This has not even been done. This has not even been done today."
Not in 2012.
When things are supposed to be so hip and out there. I mean, we covered a lot of things, and they're wonderful. The idea of someone saying, well, he's a fat guy, and I said, oh, wait, before you charge. Fat Albert was the antithesis of the stereotypical fat person.
It didn't matter what color he was.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea of the stereotypical fat person, the slow, clumsy,
lazy, smelly. Yes, I know. I'm a big boy.
Okay. But the other thing is you're not too bright either.
Right.
You're not bright.
Nope.
But you laugh a lot.
I do.
You laugh a lot. You're not bright, and people don't respect you. So I took this large fellow and put it just the opposite. He is the bright one, maybe not the brightest, but he's bright enough that he also is athletically the leader of the group. He is also the one with the feelings. He's the one who has the sensitivity to say, this is what we're going to do, let's go, over the other guys, and all of them have these little idiosyncrasies. Hey, buddy, what did you say? But they're together. They are together. So I don't think since that meeting with that fellow who said they want the 10 to 11, they're not. TV is for making money and tweeting. I have grandchildren, and I'm looking at what they're watching, and there are attempts to do what one would call child, but believe me, man, these things are shields for hucksters. They're selling stuff all the time, and your children are looking at, oh, I want that. Well, they did that when I was a kid too. I wanted I wanted Captain Midnight's decoder ring, etc., etc.
Right.
But it's just we are getting to the point where we've forgotten how wonderful it is to save people and it is to make money off of them.
Yeah, we are totally to make money off of them, and your family values, Mr. Cosby, were just amazing. You're going to learn a thing or two from watching Fat Albert. Now, moving on to The Cosby Show, which, of course, was gangbusters on NBC with your beautiful wife, Claire, and your children, Sandra and Theo and Lisa Bonet and Rudy. Thank you for making wholesome television that we all could sit around and watch and laugh, that was clean. One of my favorite episodes was when, I want to say Vanessa was experimenting with drinking. So you said, we're all going to get drunk, and you like the bottoms up or chug-a-lug. That was it, chug-a-lug.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for making such great family entertainment and doing what you've done for so many years. We appreciate you, and we love you, and thank you for still touring and coming up to the smaller cities like Watertown, New York.
Well, look at what we're doing it for. Also in Watertown.
Oh, the DPAO does amazing
things. This is going to benefit the. Go ahead.
The Disabled Persons Action Organization. We are so pleased to have you.
And I think my opening story will be one about a time when I was at Harris. I won't tell you about it now, but it's funny, and it's almost Fat Albert, Ian.
Do you ever rehash the old stuff, Mr. Cosby?
Don't you ever use the word hash.
Oh. I'm sorry.
My stuff is not hash. This is not corn beef. You know what? I don't think so. I've got stuff that has some, but it doesn't have dust on it. And I don't think people can move their lips along with what I do.
That's what you do.
All right, Doctor.
Thank you so much, Mr. Cosby.